Greetings and salutations. Thank you very much for clicking on the video. I want to talk a little bit about Firefox and Chrome on the Linux desktop, but before we get to that, I want to mention that we are using a new microphone to record videos now. For a long time, I used a mixer with an Audio-Technica microphone plugged into it that I've had for about 15 years. Not the mixer, but the microphone. That worked pretty well. If you've listened to my videos, you know what they sound like. But I started to have some problems with that setup, and I decided it was time to move on to something a little newer and a bit more simpler as well. So I got myself a lovely CAD U37 microphone, and this is what the microphone looks like. This is not my microphone. This is a picture I found online of somebody else's microphone that they posted because I tried to take a picture of my setup and it just didn't come out looking very good for whatever reason. So I went and found a picture online, and they got a real good deal on their screen here because it was $36.83. I paid a little bit more for that, and actually I didn't pay. Thank you to my mother who gave me an early birthday present. I told her, I said, hey, I want this mic. The kids just went back to school. I'm broke this month. Can I have my birthday present early? And she said yes. So thanks, Mom. But anyway, this is a really nice little microphone. It's got two switches on the front. One of them is a 10 dB pad, which makes it about half as sensitive as it normally is. That's in case you're recording loud voices or loud instruments. You can switch that in. It makes the levels a little bit easier to manage. And then it also has a filter on it where you can essentially cut the bass. So that's what that looks like right there. You can see. So with that switched in and the pad switched in, it's less sensitive and it doesn't respond as well to lower frequencies to cut rumble in the room or noise from the table, I guess. To set it up in Simple Screen Recorder or any microphone that you use, it's really quite simple. When you get to this particular configuration page, just select your device. If it's plugged in, it should be ready to go. And that is it. And with Simple Screen Recorder, I usually just go with the stock settings. I don't really change it a whole lot. I just choose a file name, turn it loose, and it works great. You've seen the results. And for your system, to configure it, if you're using some other piece of software, then you would use the input tab on your sound settings, and when I took this picture, it was the only thing that was hooked to the system, so you just click on it, you can adjust your level there, and then you're good to go. So the only downside to this particular mic that I can see is this blue LED. If it's plugged into the system, it's on all the time, and it's very bright. If the microphone is actually functioning and feeding input to an application that's recording, that light blinks. So you know, but for the price and as good as this microphone sounds, I'm happy. So there you go. I can recommend this if you're looking for a simple solution to record audio on your computer. Alright, on to the subject that I really wanted to talk about here, and that is Firefox versus Google Chrome on your Linux computer. This is a subject of great debate in the Linux community, and it's rather topical at the moment because I've heard a lot of complaints from people who are using Google Chrome on their system. And I don't know what Google has done, but even I was having problems on slower hardware with Google Chrome. It's been very slow. It's been freezing up. I have no clue. They sent down an update just a day or two ago, and I thought, hey, that'll fix that, and it made it worse. So I have actually switched back to using Firefox as the main browser. However, I don't recommend that anybody get rid of Google Chrome or get rid of Firefox in favor of Google Chrome, and that is because the state of technology on the web right now is at a place where, depending on what website you go to, one may work better than the other. And they do have a different philosophy of how they're doing things. And on the Linux desktop, there are some things that Google Chrome will do that Firefox will not. For instance, I don't think Firefox has Netflix support yet. So if you're a Netflix subscriber and you want to watch Netflix shows or content on your computer, then you're going to have to use Google Chrome to get to it. It doesn't work yet in Firefox, at least as far as I know as of the recording of this video. Also, there are certain things like online games that play better in Firefox than Chrome, or vice versa. There's the whole Flash Player thing. Firefox relies on a Flash plugin that comes with your Linux distribution, and at this point that's still version 11 something. Even though version 11 for Linux has been updated many times for security flaws, it hasn't been developed. And in Google Chrome, you get a Flash plugin that's embedded. It comes with the browser, so that one is the latest one. So if you actually have to use Flash, then Google Chrome is probably your best bet. But if the Flash works in Firefox, you can use that as well. And Google Chrome tends to integrate a little better, of course, with Google services. So if you're using Google services on your machine, then you're going to probably want to use Chrome. And that just seems to be the way it is. As far as other browsers are concerned, and there are many available for Linux, while they're pretty cool and lightweight, like Midori and Epiphany and many, many more, they usually are very limited on their functionality, and they don't support a lot of extensions and plugins. For both Firefox and Google Chrome, there are tons of extensions available that make the browser do all kinds of neat stuff. I personally don't install any of them unless I absolutely have to, just to keep things simple and keep it lightweight. Although, once again, there's certain functionality in Chrome that tends to only work in Chrome with Chrome extensions. So it depends on what you need to do, and having both of them around is a good idea. So if you need to get Google Chrome on your computer, how do you get that? Well, let's go ahead and full screen Firefox here. I'll show you the fastest way to do this. Type Google Chrome in a search, and then you have to scan down a little bit, and what you're looking for here is the actual real Google site. So google.com/Chrome, and you open that up. Okay, it may detect that Chrome is already on this system. I don't know whether it's going to let me show you the whole deal or not, but we are going to wait for this to open up, and it's taking its sweet time. I have the world's slowest internet connection. Did I tell you that? It's going to let me download anyway, even though it's already installed. So for Linux, it'll bring you to this page, and you choose one of these files. If you're running Debian or Ubuntu or Linux Mint or anything based on Ubuntu, then choose the 64-bit or the 32-bit version, depending on what version of the architecture that you're running. And if you don't know, let me show you how to find out. Open a terminal. Okay. And let me go ahead and zoom in on this so it's a little easier to see. And the command is very simple. Uname -A. Alright? And what this is going to do is tell you what kernel you're running. And as you can see here, it tells you that we are running the 64-bit version. So if you see i386 on the end of that and not 64, then you're running the 32-bit version of whatever operating system it is. So you choose the appropriate one, and you download it, and then you click on it, and you use either the Software Center or GW installer or whatever installer works on your distribution to install Chrome, and you've got Chrome. What it will do is it's going to add to your system the repository for Chrome. So if I look in software sources for my Linux Mint installation here, you're going to see that if we go to additional repositories, that Google is listed. So this makes sure that you're going to get the latest version of Chrome, and it's going to update when you update the rest of the system. And I pretty much find it to be a necessity to have it on the system. Like I said, there's certain functionality that you really need. Now, if your web needs are very simple and you don't use a lot of online services where you might need to use Google Chrome, then you could probably get by using Firefox. And this is a politically charged debate because there are people who don't like Chrome because they say it, privacy issues, which is true. But if you have a YouTube account, and if you have a Gmail account, and if you have an AdSense account, Google already knows everything about you anyway. There is nothing that they're going to be able to get from Google Chrome that they probably don't already know. So that's the way I look at it. I want the tool and I want to be functional. If I really sat around and thought about it too hard for too long, then I would probably take Google Chrome off the machine. But so far, so good. And the Firefox team, the Mozilla team, is, I wouldn't say that they're behind Chrome or that one of them is ahead of the other. I think it's more a matter of a different philosophy and different technology. Like, for instance, Firefox now still supports the Netscape plugins like Java and many others that Chrome decided not to a while back. So this accounts for the functionality working better on some sites than others, and it just depends on what you want to do. So that's just kind of a comment that I wanted to make about these things. I mean, there's really no, the browser, most Linux distributions come with Google Chrome, or rather with Firefox installed. Some of the ones now have Chromium as the default browser, which is an open source version of Google Chrome. It looks and acts just like Chrome, but it doesn't have the extra Google stuff in it. And that might be something that you want to look at too, because Chromium will give you the latest Flash without all the googly stuff. I'm kind of like this. I'm just going to do, like I said, I want to use the Google Chrome product itself for just to be up to date and functional. But if Chromium or Firefox works for you, great. But for new users of Linux, and a lot of new users look at my channel, I just wanted to put that out there. It's something that I have mentioned before but never really talked about. So thank you very much for watching the video. I do appreciate it. I hope it was helpful in some way. I'm always happy to hear from you. Always want your comments and suggestions. And don't forget that if you would like me to help you get started with Linux, then you can check out easylinux.com. I will put it in the description below. Also, don't forget to check me out at freedompenguin.com. Got some articles up there for some videos that you probably may have already seen, but some new articles and many more coming along. And Freedom Penguin is a great place to learn more about Linux. Lots of great articles there as well. So thanks for watching. Talk to you again soon.